Hello, welcome to today's live stream. I'm really happy to anyone that could make it, and I hope you're well wherever you are. Please type in the chat where you're from and let me know how you're doing. I'm gonna wait until a few more people tune in. Please also let me know how the video and audio quality is for this live stream. Also make sure to leave a like. The Ethereum price has been phenomenal over the last 24 hours. Yesterday I did another live stream and we're hoping to get $1,000 price tag yesterday on stream. Unfortunately, it was a bit short-lived, the rally yesterday. We dropped that back down, I think, to $880 during the dip, but now we skyrocketed past the $1,000 mark, and this is incredible. 3 years since the last time that we've seen these prices. And I mean, I must say, for anyone that's been in the cryptocurrency space, the last 3 years has definitely been brutal. The crypto winter with everyone's portfolios are probably suffering tremendously. However, you had the chance to stack some ETH, so I'm really happy if you managed to grab some ETH super cheap over the last few years. I mean, you've had tremendous opportunities, and if you managed to buy in March, you're up 9x. Nice to have you here, Jared Thompson. Australian in the Netherlands, that's awesome. Alex from Nottingham, glad to have you here on the channel. HVAC Pro from Egypt, that's fantastic. I actually went to Egypt at the beginning of last year. Unfortunately, I was only in Egypt for 2 days and had to fly back due to the pandemic, and but I'm definitely going there again. So in today's video, we're probably going to be looking at a little bit about what Ethereum has been doing, where the next price targets are, as well as some fun memes that I've found. It's going to be a more or less relaxed video. I'll also bring some DeFi news, as well as some interesting Reddit topics that I've found that is quite interesting to discuss. And most of these topics involve how you can actually either protect your cryptocurrencies a lot better, how you can improve your trading in long-term investment strategies, as well as just for entertainment, basically. So make sure to leave a like if you appreciate this type of content. And yeah, maybe we can start with looking at the Ethereum chart and maybe trying to paint a picture of what the next few weeks is going to look like for the Ethereum price. I mean, it's always very difficult to estimate how the price is going to perform in the next few weeks, as the markets are very irregular, volatile, and they often don't always follow typical technical analysis patterns. But I always like to use the Ichimoku cloud, because the Ichimoku cloud is a very, very easy indicator to use, as it shows in one glance the current trend. And I think it's best if I maybe start zooming out and looking at the daily, because very often the daily shows a much longer term trend and where we're possibly heading over the next few weeks. So yeah, I must say, really happy with the pump. Didn't expect to reach these price levels at the time that we did, but very often after that, Bitcoin has pumped quite a bit. ETH tends to follow suit. So yeah, we had actually a spike, and we actually touched the 1,172 level per ETH. So that's 11x if you bought at the $80-90 range back in March. So yeah, if you manage to do that, or basically any time last year, if you managed to buy some ETH, you're basically already in the green. So this is great. And I think this is now an important time to think about your strategy, your long-term strategy. So I already talked yesterday about taking profit. I won't reiterate that again because you can watch yesterday's video as well as a small clip that I uploaded that shows how you can actually take profit. And it's definitely important, otherwise you run all the way up during the bull run, all the way down, and yeah, not taking any profit along the way. It's a painful story that many can gladly tell the tale from the 2017 bull run, especially when ETH went up to $1,400 during that time. So maybe let's remove the MACD as we don't really need that. So what the cloud actually tells us at the moment is that we're in a bullish trend on the daily, that already since the 4th, or actually back in May, on the 9th of May, we actually entered this bullish trend on the daily. So since May 2020, we've been in a massive bull run for ETH, but basically other cryptocurrencies as well, including Bitcoin. So now what we can possibly see is, I mean, we did have a slight retracement to this blue line. You can compare this blue line like with a moving average, and basically what it does is that it paints different support levels. So this is basically price levels where the price could touch and hopefully bounce off of. So you've got several levels here where the price could bounce off of, and it actually more or less bounced off of this blue line at the 800, a little bit above the blue line at the $880 level yesterday. So if anyone put some limit price buys at the blue level, then you probably managed to catch some dips. So you can actually put some limit orders on most exchanges, Coinbase Pro, Binance, and that's one of the best strategies to buy the dip. It's not a sure way to do it, but it's pretty easy to catch some dips as they come, especially since it's really difficult to buy when the price goes higher and your average buying price is lower, because it doesn't feel good to buy at a higher price when your average price is maybe at $200. It possibly gets a lot harder to buy a price level of 1,000, but by dollar cost averaging at these the blue and the red line, it gets actually a lot easier. And you can actually use TradingView. You can go under the indicators and you can search for Ichimoku Cloud. And you can set it up like I have done. I've also made a video about that on my channel. You can search for Ichimoku Cloud and how I actually set all of this up. And it's basically a long-term indicator, especially if you want to hold it for more than a year, several years. It's a fantastic indicator. So as long as this price is above the cloud, you should be in a bullish mood, and don't attempt to short the trend. Never go against the trend, otherwise you'll be slaughtered. I won't really look at too many other cryptocurrencies at the moment, but I'm super happy about ETH. So in my opinion, what I'd really like is for this candle here to close above the $1,040 price level, and then maybe have a few bounces above the $1,000 range. Then we will possibly see in the next few days, depending on how much volume is coming onto Ethereum, we'll possibly see attempt to actually touch the next price level, which would be the resistance and the previous all-time high of around $1,400. And I mean, yeah, it's something that everyone is hoping for. And not only the cryptocurrency space, but especially Ethereans are hoping for that. So yeah, make sure to leave a like. I don't see enough likes on this video. It definitely helps other people learn about Ethereum and cryptocurrencies. So let's have a few looks at what some interesting posts I found. I think we'll start with some fun stuff to lighten the mood, break the ice a little bit. So I really like Ethereum. I mean, most people don't really understand Ethereum. And I feel like when they actually understand the capabilities of what Ethereum is actually attempting to do, well, then they get bullish automatically. I mean, they understand some concepts of why Bitcoin is superior to gold, but very often they compare Bitcoin to gold. And I think that's not the best comparison. And that's why I like this meme where the first thought is ETH is money, but it's actually much more than money. I mean, money is just one application running on the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum is an operating system, and you can compare money like an email program running on your computer. There's going to be a lot more programs than just a money or email program on your computer, and that's the same with ETH. So ETH is not only an economy, but it starts there. ETH is an entire economy connecting people, transacting value in many different ways. But it's a lot more than that. So ETH is the internet of finance, bringing the traditional financial space onto the internet. If you're familiar with the OC models, you've got the different layers like transport layer, information layer. Then you've got the internet layer, and basically the ETH blockchain is creating an additional layer, which is the value layer, allowing people to transact value. So that's why we come into the ETH is trust decentralized, because basically if you can trust you're providing value, you can receive the value. I know it's a bit far-fetched, but as soon as you understand this concept, it will turn you bullish on Ethereum, because you're not only transacting like tokens and Ethereum. You're not just like trading Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain. You can buy tokenized real estate. You can send this tokenized real estate to a friend, or you can actually maybe tokenize the keys to your car and then send these tokens to a friend, and then you can use your car. And when you understand that it's actually a marketplace for everything, basically everything can be transacted on the Ethereum blockchain, then you realize that it's unstoppable. It also creates a lot more opportunities for everyone that are not really there in the traditional financial space. So that's why I'm super bullish on Ethereum, and yeah, hope you are too. So here's also a fun one. Bankers learning about crypto in 2011. Bankers learning about crypto in 2021 and 2011. There was Bitcoin, probably a few other cryptocurrencies. Ethereum wasn't around. It's a bit of a late bloomer, came around 2015. But yeah, the bankers weren't scared at all in 2011. I mean, you've got this nerd coin, this internet money wizard, magic internet money thing, and yeah, they're not really too bothered about it. Then after, in 2017, they were basically the bankers became contrarians and just pooped on cryptocurrency in general, because if you can't beat it technically, well, then you just have to talk bad about it and try and destroy its image. And then in 2021, when you realize that this new fad is not actually a fad, it's actually a tsunami, a financial revolution, then they're realizing that unless they actually try and surf this wave, they're going to be left behind. And it's going to be interesting which countries are going to manage to surf this cryptocurrency wave and survive, and which countries are going to actually destroy themselves in a way by limiting this cryptocurrency growth with regulations. So it's going to be very interesting. But as far as I can understand, many cryptocurrency enthusiasts are looking forward to the inflow of institutions, and institutions are now actually entering the space en masse. Like family offices are now thinking about acquiring Bitcoin. And the thing is, Bitcoin is the one coin that is the most known. Most people don't really understand or don't know about Ethereum, so that's fine. If you're already in Ethereum, you're super early. I mean, people in Bitcoin are probably already early, but more people know about Bitcoin than Ethereum. So yeah, with this massive rally, many people are sweating, especially if they've never experienced such pumps before. Yeah, the question, sell Ethereum anticipating a crash, ride it to the moon. Now the question is, where's your moon? Definitely post it in the chat where your price prediction is for Ethereum in 2021, or where you actually are planning to sell some ETH. Are you going to plan to sell at the next all-time high, 1,400, or are you just going to wait for a breakthrough past the all-time high and look and see if we actually reach the moon? I mean, the moon is, I think, 260,000 kilometers away from Earth. Yeah, don't quote me on that. So if we'd put kilometers into US dollars, that would be 260,000 US dollars. So definitely not a price tag for ETH that I'm expecting anytime soon. But I think 4,000 US dollar at end of the 2021 rally is probably not an understatement. But definitely let me know in the comments where you believe that ETH will be at the end of 2021 at its highest. And yeah, definitely look at my past videos on my strategy for exiting and taking profit, not with my entire position, but making sure that I definitely take profit on the way and remove my initial investment. So I think this is pretty interesting. It's always good to look at the big picture. I mean, 1K is exciting, but I mean, 10,000 US dollars is not that far away from here. It's just a mere 10x. Which is fantastic, but in my opinion, it's not that far away. And I believe 10,000 US dollars puts the Ethereum or ETH market cap at around 400 or 500 billion US dollars, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, definitely something that's possible in the next 4 to 5 years, hopefully a lot sooner. I will see a 10,000 US dollar price tag. We've already seen the ETH is money, ETH is economy. Now I think I wanna address this. It's super important that you always read stories about other people that had bad experiences, learn from them. So here there's this poor guy, empty and discarded. Don't be an idiot. Hey there, a long time. I've been doing crypto since 2012. Got my first amounts of Bitcoin at around $20 range. Don't worry, they're long gone now. Do yourself a favor, zoom out. Crypto goes through these kinds of booms and bust cycles all the time. Sure, it's fun to see the price shoot up by 10-20% in a day, but this are the moments that separate the smart money from the dumb money. Please don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So I think this is really important. I mean, I've seen so many people, not only on Reddit and on Twitter, talking about loans that they've taken, and that's the worst advice anyone could give. And that is to take a loan and buy some cryptocurrency. Oh yeah, so market cap at the moment is 115 billion, so 10x from here would be 1.5 trillion. So sorry about my mistake. Thanks a lot, Dennis, for pointing that out. So this is, I mean, 1.15 trillion US dollars is definitely a stretch from here, but in my opinion, not that far of a reach as most people think. I mean, the real estate market is somewhere around 100 trillion US dollars. The derivatives market is around 500 trillion US dollars. So yeah, not too far of a reach, but it's definitely double the market cap that I said. So 1.15 trillion is double the amount that I said, but still pretty nice to see such a price tag in the next 4 to 5 years. But definitely, even with these massive price rallies, don't FOMO. Many new investors see the massive price, don't really understand the tech, but they come in because they see massive green candles, and that's possibly the worst times to buy dollar cost average, and don't like get in at the last moment, because you have to fathom the dips, which are going to be brutal. So I've got this fantastic question. I'm sure you're familiar with the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain that's actually already launched. It launched on the 1st of December. And if you're not, I'll give you a quick recap of what it actually is. And it will hopefully give you a bit of an insight on where Ethereum is headed and why I'm super bullish about it. So the first you're going to see different updates, and those updates will happen in phases. So you've got 3 phases, but they're named phase 0, phase 1, phase 2. And the phase 0 happened on the 1st of December with the launch of the beacon chain. The phase 1 will bring shards, and phase 2 will actually bring all the transactions. So phase 1 is supposedly coming at the end of 2021. There's no information on when that's going to happen, but it's hopefully soon. And phase 2 will actually bring the transactions. And there's also one question I've always been getting also on my other videos concerning Ethereum 2.0 is, when ETH 2.0 is launched, will I have coins on both the 1.0 and 2.0 blockchain? And to answer this question, no, you won't have 2 coins. It's not the same thing as what happened with the Bitcoin Cash fork, where if you had Bitcoin and after the fork you had also Bitcoin Cash and thus free money. This won't be happening with Ethereum 2.0, since it's even though Ethereum 2.0 is a completely new blockchain, so it's running on proof of stake, the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain that we have at the moment is going to actually be migrated completely and put into the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. So you can compare the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain as like many islands, and the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain is just one island. So that's why the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain is so congested, because everyone is trying to transact on this small island. That's why the fees are so high. And with the Ethereum 2.0, you're going to have these islands, and the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain is going to be added onto one of the islands. So that's basically how this transition is going to happen, and it's going to happen in phase 1.5, which was recently added to this transition. And when that happens, you will automatically have Ethereum 2.0 coins. So it doesn't really change if you've got Ethereum 1.0 coins or Ethereum 2.0 coins. It's basically the same thing in the end. But yeah, that's to answer that question. And I'm really looking forward to Ethereum 2.0, because if you look at the DeFi space at the moment, the fees are just crazy high. I mean, you're paying $80, $100 to just send or withdraw from smart contracts. If you've got some funds locked up in Compound, you probably have to pay $50, $80, $100 to remove your stable coins or your other ERC20 tokens from Compound. And it's understandable that this is happening at the moment, because ETH is rising so fast. People are FOMOing back into Ethereum, since many other ERC20 tokens are losing a lot of value. I don't have any ETH. Should I buy it now? Well, I'm not a financial investor. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot exactly tell you what you should do with your money. I don't know your finances. What I can tell you is like 2 or 3 reasons why I'm super bullish, and then you can make your own opinion based on that. So Ethereum is like an operating system that will run the whole traditional financial service on it, and it will allow everyone to interact with a global economy, remove intermediaries. No one can actually tell you what you can do with your money. So you can actually go and start trading. You can buy some stocks probably soon on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain, without having to do any KYC, without having to ask a bank and send a lot of paperwork. And all of that is happening on the Ethereum blockchain. and the Ethereum blockchain runs on ETH. So you need ETH to actually interact with smart contracts. You also need ETH if you actually want to use some of the dApps. And you can actually see it like that. The more people are going to use the decentralized finance space on the Ethereum blockchain, the more people are going to buy ETH because they need ETH to use the DeFi space. And with less and less ETH available, because people are looking it up on the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain in order to earn some rewards, because you can stake on the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. That means that with less ETH in a circulating supply, a super high demand, you're gonna have a price shock. And this price shock is happening at the moment as we speak. Now, doesn't mean that we're never gonna have a dip again, but it definitely means that, in my opinion, it's never too late to buy ETH, but probably dollar cost average, and make sure you don't go into debt. Investing in cryptocurrency, don't take out any loans. Make sure you also have paid all of your other debts, and that's just basic non-financial advice. So that's what I would tell you to your question. Should I buy it now? It's always difficult to time the market. I don't really try and time the market because very often it goes terribly wrong. When I want the price to dip, it goes up, and when I want the price to go down, when I want the price to go up, it goes down. So here, this is another interesting post, and this is actually really, really sad story for NoPut 4685 on Reddit. He reported 264 ETH has been stolen from his wallet. So he actually posts his wallet address. You can actually look it up for yourself. I'll post it in the chat, and you can look it up on Etherscan if you want. And this is a sad story, to say the least. I mean, 264 ETH is $264,000 US, and he has no clue how this happened. It's possible that he installed some malware on his computer. He installed or he went onto a phishing website. So I just want to give you this advice. Take your security seriously. If you don't have 2FA activated, 2FA stands for two-factor authentication on your email account. Definitely activate that, because if you don't do it and someone gets access to your email account, your funds are possibly lost. Make sure you've got 2FA on your exchanges. Make sure that you use a hardware wallet. If you've got several thousand US worth of ETH or other cryptocurrencies, you use a hardware wallet like Trezor or Ledger. I'm a big fan of Ledger, the hardware wallet. Not too fan of the company after the data leak, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, also be careful what you install on your computer. Like cracked pirated games often have viruses. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, ETH at the moment is unusable. I completely agree with you at the moment. It's basically, the more users now come onto the Ethereum blockchain, the less usable it becomes. And this is an unfortunate thing for the Ethereum blockchain at the moment. And there are a few things that hopefully should happen soon. And that is EIP 1559 proposal, which will drastically reduce the fees on the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain. Second thing is, of course, layer 2 scaling options. There's many different layer 2 scaling opportunities that have been implemented on dApps such as Synthetics. However, to on-ramp the ETH onto the layer 2 scaling options also costs a lot. So yeah, the fees, unfortunately, that's something that we cannot really do anything about at the moment. It's something that sucks, definitely. So that's because ETH has become very lucrative. It's become a fantastic investment opportunity. Many people are flocking towards it, and that's why the fees are skyrocketing. It cannot handle so many users at the same time. Unfortunately, this is a characteristic of the proof of work blockchain that Ethereum is running on, with just 15 transactions per second at its best. It's definitely not fast enough to handle this massive influx of new users. But yeah, it's an experiment. It's something that will evolve. In my opinion, we're still early. Even if ETH at times is not usable, I still think it's a great opportunity. So yeah, this is again about trading, selling your whole position. I won't go too much into detail about that, but make sure that you time your buys. Actually, don't try and time the market, but plan on having an exit strategy, and don't cash out everything at the same time, thinking that the market will crash, because like Fireaxis pointed out, he sold at 450 because he expected a drop, and now it actually went to $1,000 US dollars. So he's definitely kicking himself. So please do not be Fireaxis. Definitely take some profits, but keep some skin in the game so you don't miss out on future pumps, because yeah, you never really know when the actual top is going to be. It's the same with Bitcoin. People that sold at 20,000 US dollars because they expected the price to crash, they're definitely kicking themselves if they sold their whole position. So keep a hodl bag and maybe a small bag for trading in the dips. But yeah. So soon is going to be the altcoin season. I think these are some of my favorite blue chips, DeFi blue chips that I'm following. So you've got Uniswap. It's one of the best decentralized exchanges on the decentralized finance space, running on the Ethereum blockchain. It's actually doing more transactions than most centralized exchanges. So it's doing more transactions than Coinbase, Bitpanda, Bittrex, and so on. And it's completely decentralized. It's a decentralized exchange, meaning you don't have to fill in some stupid paperwork or give them your identity. It's, yeah, trust free. Then you've got Aave. I think Aave is also a pretty great platform. Short disclaimer, I'm actually being sponsored by Aave. Excuse me, Aave. I recently found out that they're actually pronounced as Aave, and Aave is a lending platform, which is fantastic because they allow you to earn super high interest and yields on your stable coins as well as other cryptocurrencies. So this is a fantastic project. I've been using them before they started sponsoring me. So Synthetics also fantastic, and the great thing about Synthetics is that they allow you to long and short not only ETH BTC, but you can actually also trade Forex, if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully soon you will also be able to trade stocks on Synthetics. They've also implemented some layer 2 solution with optimistic rollup, which will dramatically reduce the fees. And what is super interesting with Synthetics is that they've got treasury is at 150 million US dollars. 150 million US dollars. They've got 3 DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, which means they're completely decentralized. And this is fantastic because with all the regulations being thrown around, yeah, it's very difficult to be a cryptocurrency company in the current regulatory landscape. I mean, if you look at Ripple, they're not having a fantastic time with the SEC charges, and yeah, being a decentralized exchange means that you can't really actually be charged for anything. I mean, try and find the CEO of Bitcoin or try and find the CEO of Synthetics and tell them to stop using or stop running their decentralized exchange. Well, you can't really do that. So I've got a great question from HVAC Pro. What you think about Keeper? Well, I think Keeper is fantastic. I made a video about Keeper back when it was released. Oh, I cannot remember when that was. I think it was sometime in October or November. And I was super bullish. It dropped quite a bit. I think the all-time high for Keeper was around $500. And I think it's a great way for decentralized exchanges to manage different things that they couldn't do on their own, that would actually be more expensive to use an Oracle. Or to perform some automated tasks, and I think it's a great tool, especially for decentralized finance developers, to find people that run bots for them to do some automated tasks. For example, you've got on Maker, you've got the liquidators that actually remove faulty loans. So on Maker, you can actually borrow ETH or DAI and leverage your position. The problem is, if DAI should increase or if ETH should decrease in price, then it's possible that your position gets liquidated. But this liquidation is not something that happens automatic. Someone can actually come there and then say, okay, this position is bad. They actually buy up this position and they earn 3% of fees, or 5% of fees. And this doesn't happen manually. This is often done with bots, and the Keeper platform can actually is the intermediary between the people that have the bots and the decentralized finance space. So I think it's pretty good. It's still pretty undervalued in my opinion. Not many or not all the decentralized finance platforms are actually using it to its fullest capabilities, but I think it's pretty good. And the Keeper token has a pretty good use case, because I believe people are paid in Keeper tokens, and if you actually want something done for your DeFi app, you have to buy the Keeper tokens to pay the keepers. So yeah, that was it for the Keeper project. Yeah, Andre Cronje, one of my favorite DeFi guys. He's fantastic. Brings out a lot of projects, but many people lose massive amounts of funds because they ape into his unaudited smart contracts that he posts. I mean, the last one was Y credit, and it had economical vulnerability in it, so people lost quite a lot of funds. And the same with LBI or Eminence. And so yeah, he's got a bit of a bad rep since he tests in prod. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. I mean, the DeFi space is experimental, and people that ape into new DeFi apps expecting 100x have to also expect either rug pull or a smart contract hack. So I think this is pretty interesting. Token Smart NFT Hump Day report. There's a super rare embraces Cody method, and that's for actually NFT auctions. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. It's basically for auctioning different super valuable NFT artworks. I'm a bit unsure about what I should think about the NFT space. On one side, it's fantastic. It's something completely new. On the other hand, I'm not 100% sure if all of the artworks actually have the value that people attribute towards them. I mean, different artworks are definitely overpriced in my opinion, and it's possibly also a pretty good front for money laundering. I mean, that would be the easiest way. If I had a few thousand ETH, tell a friend, create a 100 ETH NFT token, and I would buy it from him, and I easily laundered 100 or 500 ETH like that. So yeah, but if you're interested in super rare auctions, I'm pretty sure you'll find this interesting. Next up is Curve Finance. If you haven't already tried out the Curve Finance platform, they're fantastic. And this here is a pretty good opportunity if you want to earn some rewards and some rewards on your ETH without impermanent loss. So if you've already heard about liquidity pools, I'll give a quick recap about it. I mean, liquidity pools is what allows people to trade ERC20 tokens between each other, or ETH for ERC20 tokens. Since it's a decentralized exchange, there's no central entity that is providing liquidity. It's actually the users that are providing liquidity for the whole community. Now, when you provide liquidity, you can earn fees. Like if we take Uniswap, you can either you earn trading fees. They also had a time where you could earn the Uni tokens. And on Curve, I believe you earn the Curve token depending on which pool you use. Now, the problem with the liquidity pools is there's definitely some risk involved, because if you take a trading pair, it's got a ratio. Like if you've got ETH DAI, then the problem is if the ETH price goes up massively, the ratio changes and you've got something that's called impermanent loss. So that happens if the ratio between the two ERC20 tokens that you've locked up in the liquidity pool changes in ratio. So if one goes up massively or the other one goes down massively, then you've got this loss of funds that is, in other words, called impermanent loss. However, if something is more or less the same, like if two tokens are more or less the same, meaning that they're following the same price, then it eliminates this problem of impermanent loss. So that's why on Curve Finance with the ETH SETH pool, it's pretty fantastic, because you earn fees if people trade on Curve Finance between ETH and SETH. And SETH is from the Synthetics platform. So the SETH follows the ETH price, meaning you're never going to have a different ratio between these two. They might vary a few dollars. Like I believe the SETH price might be lagging behind the ETH price just a little bit, maybe a few dollars, but the ratio is never going to change. When ETH goes up, SETH goes up. So this is a pretty safe way, yeah. Yeah, I believe he lost his private key. Sour spicy. I believe he lost his private key or something like that. All right, let's continue with this. This is a new platform very similar to Synthetics. DeFi synthetic leveraged asset token. So very similar to Synthetics. I haven't tried this out since it's completely new. Like with all new DeFi apps, always super risky. But yeah, they're doing a public sale at some point. But yeah, completely new. I won't give my opinion on it because I haven't really tried it out. But if you want to look at it, feel free to look at it. Then you've got DHedge, which is also pretty good. Not sure if you're already familiar with DHedge. And DHedge is basically a decentralized asset management protocol on Ethereum. And you can do quite a lot of things, basically managing all of your assets on the Ethereum blockchain with one click. So this is a pretty fantastic platform. I believe you can access it with most Ethereum wallets like Wallet Connect, MetaMask, and so on. I believe you can also short and long ETH and other wrapped tokens. This is an interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's true. Sour, spicy, vermicelli. It's true. I mean, it's always a danger to believe everything that you see on the internet. Everything that someone posts could be basically fake. In other words, he might also just be posting that so that he can tell the tax man that he lost his ETH and he doesn't have to pay any taxes on it. So you never really know. But yeah, the story or the moral of that story is basically I wanted to make sure that everyone is following safe practices concerning their ETH and making sure that they've got their ETH stored in a safe way and got 2FA activated, because it pains me to see that people lose their funds because of mismanagement of their private keys or something like that. So even if his story is fake, I think it's still important that people safeguard their funds and make sure that they can actually go all the way to the moon and thrive from the profits. So this is super interesting, especially now with the massive gas fees that we've got on Ethereum. And that is ULab's gas futures token, meaning that you can actually short and long the gas prices on the Ethereum blockchain. So if the Ethereum blockchain's gas prices skyrocket, you can actually enter into a short position and short the gas prices. You can also buy some low gas prices when they're low and sell them when they're higher. So this is definitely popular because yeah, with the rise of DeFi, the Ethereum gas prices rose in volatility just like crazy. It's a rich man's game, unfortunately, at the moment, with less than $5,000 locking up liquidity is just not valuable or worth it. So there are some ways that decentralized finance exchanges, for example, One Inch Exchange tries to optimize the gas prices, and that's with the Chi gas token. So it provides a partial solution to this issue. So this UGas is a token that was settled with the median gas price of all Ethereum transactions in January. So 30 days is the actual specification. And with a simple contract that this, market participants can effectively buy or sell the contract today and lock in the median gas price in gray for the month of January. So this is pretty interesting, because then you can actually buy a lower gas price and benefit from that. So I'll link this down below. Actually, what I'll do is I'll post this in the chat so you can read about it. It's definitely a bit more complicated. I just flew over what it actually does, but I'm sure some people will find this interesting, especially if you want to benefit from the fluctuations, the massive fluctuations of the gas fees. So here's an example with Alex the Trader. Maybe this makes it a lot easier to understand what this UGas actually does. So Alex is a trader who believes ETH gas prices will rise in January and decides to buy the UGas January 21 token. She connects her wallet to Uniswap and prepares to buy 100 UGas Jan 21 with her ETH. So the price on the user interface shows 1 UGas January 21 equals 0.07 ETH, and this effectively means Alex is getting long on the ETH gas prices at 70 Gwei. And to further clarify this, each token represents 1 million gas, and 1 billion Gwei equals 1 ETH. For ignoring transaction costs, she would need to sell 7 ETH to buy 100 UGas January 21 tokens. So this is pretty good, especially during the low borrowing times when the gas prices are super low, or maybe in the night. You can actually buy some gas futures long the gas amount and profit when the price of ETH skyrockets and the gas prices also go through the roof. So pretty interesting, the opportunities that people get in the decentralized finance space. I mean, think about longing and shorting the gas fees. I mean, it's fantastic. You can actually profit from this metric that is fluctuating, that people really hate, and by buying futures, you can actually start loving the high gas fees. Yeah. So short info Open version 2 is live. This is really great. The most powerful capital efficient DeFi options protocol is live. This is also another way that you can buy some put and call options without KYC, completely decentralized. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. V2 or version 2 of the open protocol, the most powerful and capital efficient DeFi options protocol, is now live on Ethereum mainnet. So yeah, this is fantastic. At some point, I'll probably make a video on how you can use the open protocol, if that's highly requested. So Rainer Reinfall, I'm proud myself that I didn't sell yesterday. I'm happy you didn't sell, and yeah, let's hope that the price goes up even higher in the next few days or weeks. So this is a new release. I think this is super interesting. I mean, it's again about NFT, but I think it's noteworthy to mention. So Neelastic's liquid on-chain generative art. It's a new buzzword-filled way of creating NFT tokens, basically creating random pieces that change. So Neelastic is a new digital art project that I created that allows collectors to mint and burn newly randomly generated pieces of neoplasticity inspired digital art. It's liquid, meaning that at any point a collector may choose to burn their piece to receive a reward from a communal reserve, a bonding curve. So yeah, a different way of creating NFT art. Yeah, I guess you have to make a judgment on if that's something that you find interesting. Yeah, not the biggest fan of NFTs, especially NFT art. I do like the NFTs that have to do with games, because yeah, games have a massive in-game market, and if people spend time in game and they manage to get a weapon skin or a special hat or some kind of items, and it has a certain value, I think it should retain that value and they should be able to sell it on an open market. So yeah, those type of NFTs I think are valuable. Yeah, I think this is coming to an end slowly of this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, definitely leave them in the chat box. I'll gladly respond to them. I'll leave the stream open a bit to answer some of your questions if you've got some burning questions that you'd like to ask me. And I'll probably do another live stream soon, because these are a lot of fun to do, and I'll definitely be taking some parts of the live stream and shotting them up and putting them into videos, especially if I answer the question. Any words on when ETH 2.0 phase 2 will roll out? I did talk a little bit about ETH 2 in the video. Unfortunately, no one really knows when phase 2 will actually come, or phase 1 for that matter. I mean, there's always been delays with the Ethereum 2.0 development. I mean, phase 0 was supposed to happen in July 2020, but they actually only deployed on the 1st of December 2020. I mean, it's running pretty good, but yeah, unfortunately no words on when the rollout is going to be complete. I mean, phase 1 is only going to bring the shards, basically the islands that I mentioned, and phase 2 the transactions. So before that happens, we're going to probably be suffering from high ETH gas prices, and I definitely hope that they manage to bring phase 2 within the next 2 years. If they don't manage to do it within the next 2 years, well, the competition is heating up. You've got Cardano, you've got Polkadot, and yeah, many other blockchains are working on developing and eating a large slice of the DeFi pie. And yeah, I mean, Ethereum definitely has a head start, but if they don't step up their game, bring out Ethereum 2.0 super fast, within the next 2 years, they're going to have a hard time competing with maybe superior blockchains in terms of scalability, and yeah, other things such as the ERC20 converter that Cardano is bringing to the Cardano blockchain. So I'm pretty hyped about that, about Cardano blockchain, but it's definitely still got a lot to prove, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah. You're flattering me. Cold showers, probably. Thanks a lot for your intention and your kind words. It was a lot of fun interacting with you guys. I would definitely be online again. I'm not sure if tomorrow, but sometime this week. I've got the whole week off, and I thought I'd do a few more live streams this week. So, yeah, I'm really pumped about all of the news, and big thanks, Sour Spicy Vermicelli, for your donation. I really appreciate that. So you probably also speak French. You might speak French, and I actually grew up in. I lived 10 years in France, so I also speak a little bit of French. But yeah, probably most of the viewers won't be understanding if I start speaking French at the moment. If you've got any suggestions about what you'd like me to cover in the next episodes, definitely let me know in the comments. I mean, I really appreciate feedback that I get from you guys. You like, especially if you've been a subscriber for even a new subscriber or old subscriber. I love every one of you guys. It's fantastic journey. I started YouTube in 2019. Hopefully I'll reach 10k subscribers at some point, and hopefully I'll also be able to do this full time, because cryptocurrency is definitely one of my passions. I really enjoy reading about the space, not only in terms of investment, but also as a way of it's a lifestyle. It's basically a revolution similar to what the internet did back in 1985. I mean, if you've got some time, go on YouTube and look for people talking about the internet back in 1985. I mean, they were like, they couldn't fathom what the internet actually meant at the time. I mean, probably no one could actually understand what the internet meant at the time. And in my opinion, I mean, of course, Bitcoin is fantastic, but Ethereum is yeah, it's a completely new way of interacting and transacting value on the internet in a way that wasn't possible before 2015. I mean, of course, yeah, you could send Bitcoin, but you had no other way of actually earning some yield on your funds. I mean, with the negative interest rates that you get in banks, and with the terrible inflation rate that you're getting with fiat currencies, I mean, who cares about the dips? In my opinion, the cryptocurrency space is the only way that you will actually thrive, in my opinion, in the next 10 years, because there's a flight to quality, a flight out of fiat. Fiat is losing money, and there are not many other options for people to actually earn interest. I mean, yeah, it's the opportunities are escaping. Large investors are starting to realize that. That's why you got so many institutions entering into the cryptocurrency space. But at the moment, they've only got Bitcoin goggles on, so they haven't really figured out the Ethereum blockchain. So that's going to probably take a while. But when the institutional investors start pouring in, when the family offices start pouring in, well, then you're going to see the price moon, and your portfolios is probably going to be very nice. You'll probably be refreshing your portfolio like every 5 minutes, like I'm doing. Probably not anymore. I used to do that in the 2017 bull run. Refresh my portfolio every 5 minutes and getting 10% 10% gains. Hi there, BFreshB, what's going on? Yeah, blockchain is the next internet for sure. ETH boys for the win. Yeah, I'm definitely bullish on Ethereum. I'm not an ETH maxi, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm super bullish on Ethereum, but in my opinion, I think many cryptocurrencies can live together. Many have like different properties, and they can actually benefit from each other. So yeah, being a BTC maximalist or an ETH maximalist is actually not the best advice or but best way to go. In my opinion, Bitcoin can only bring value to the DeFi space. The DeFi space can bring value to Bitcoin. So in my opinion, that's one way to look at it, and yeah, probably the best way. In my opinion, that's my opinion, that's probably why it's the best way for me. Is Ethereum 1.0 with drop after Ethereum 2.0? I guess you're meaning if there's going to be a drop. It's going to be integrated. Electro TV Ethereum 1.0 is going to be integrated into Ethereum 2.0. You won't really notice a difference. So, sour spicy vermicelli, when do you think the market will peak? I think this September. Very difficult to say. I mean, it's really difficult to say. I didn't expect the price of ETH to rise as fast as it did. Yeah, I would just recommend looking at the charts on the long term, making sure you've got your price targets if you want to get a little bit of profit. Like maybe allocate 20% of your portfolio for taking profit, getting out your initial investment, buying the dips. Yeah, and just ride the wave. Very difficult to time when the actual peak is going to happen. I've already tried and timed, but the problem is, well, it's not actually a problem, but if we pass the $1,400 range, we're going to be into open territory. That means there's not going to be any resistance on the upside. So it's very difficult to actually pinpoint where the top is going to be. It's possible maybe to look at where the price starts moving sideways. There's a certain price level. There's more sellers than buyers. Then maybe you can actually start taking some profit at those levels. But it's difficult. It's really difficult. What is super difficult is to actually manage your emotions during such a bull trend, because even though your portfolio might be growing massively, double digits, triple digits every month, it is extremely painful to watch all of those profits dwindle away during a 30 or 40% correction. So yeah, you're gonna have to stomach the how does it go? There's actually a pretty cool meme that I saw a few weeks ago. If you can't handle the 40% drops, then you don't deserve the 800% gains. I think you have to see it like that. There's massive opportunity, but you also have to be able to stomach the drops. BFreshB, Kierin, I'm sure you're a busy guy. I'd love to interview you on my channel. I've been watching you for a little bit back in 2019 before I started my own YouTube channel. I think you provide a great value. I also make crypto videos, and that'd be cool to have someone that is experienced with DeFi speak about their experiences with it. Yeah, sure. Send me an email at yourdefiguide@gmail.com, the email, and then we can see if we can figure something out. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm gonna have some dinner, and yeah, last thing, if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything apart from subscribing, release weekly videos. I've also got a Twitter account that I recommend that you follow, because I'll be posting pieces of information, nuggets that I stumble upon, maybe some super important news that I come across that I think you definitely need to know about. And yeah, so if you want to stay in the know, get some super fresh updates, then follow me at your DeFi guide. You'll find the link to my Twitter down below. You can also look for you at your DeFi guide. All right, last question from Sir Sarah Spicy Family Chili. What's your portfolio allocation? About 10% BTC, 87% ETH, and 2% Polkadot. I think my portfolio calculation allocation at the moment is around, if I'm not mistaken, 40%. I think 50% ETH, 30% Cardano, and 20% BTC. At the moment, but during our coin season, I might move a little bit of my funds into some promising altcoins, but only to accumulate and get more ETH and BTC, and possibly also some more Cardano. I mean, Polkadot is also pretty promising. I might consider buying some Polkadot, but at the moment, I really don't want to have a too diversified portfolio, as I found out that in 2020 you would have had probably the most ETHs if you the most rewards if you bought ETH or BTC, and none of the altcoins apart from maybe Wi-Fi if you managed to buy the Year on Finance token during the DeFi summer. But apart from that, most other altcoins probably lose in value unless you pick a fantastic gem, but most of them lose in value compared to the ETH and BTC ratio. But yeah, your portfolio, in my opinion, is pretty good. 10% BTC, you've got an allocation towards BTC, and you can benefit from the BTC pumps, and you've got 87% ETH, which is fantastic because I see a lot of upside potential. You've also got Polkadot, which, I mean, it's a pretty good contender. It's not actually a competitor to ETH, but it can actually help many different blockchains interact with each other. So I think it's great. Me personally, I'd like to read a lot more about Polkadot. I mean, I did one video on it, and I'd like to learn a lot more about their DeFi sector. I'm not sure if they've already got apps in the DeFi space that are running on Polkadot, but if they do, I'll probably start making some videos about them. So yeah, that was it for this video. Really enjoyed talking with you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good evening, or afternoon or morning if depending on what time it is, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.